What's up, YouTube? Murphy Firearms Training here. So we were at the range the other day, did some shooting with our Ruger LCP Custom. So this is not the LCP1, it's not the LCP2, it is the LCP Custom, which is the LCP1, but it has an anodized aluminum trigger. It's a wide target trigger, and it has removable sights, bigger sights. So this is the rear sight, if it'll focus in on that. See if I can get it to focus. They are not those integral to the slide sights. Boy, it does not want to focus today. The camera is giving me a fit, guys. There it is. So you can see it's a not integral to the slide, but it is actually detachable. It has a set screw. And I've removed the front sight. So we were at the range, and I went to clean the gun after shooting, and the front sight was loose. It would wobble side to side. And so I took the slide. I already had the slide off cleaning it, actually. And so I turned it over and I looked, and I saw the front sight. Here's the front sight, if I can get that to focus in there. I saw this little front sight here. Come on, camera, focus for me. And it had this little nut. And so I went and I got my GLOCK sight removal tool. Okay, this is a Vism. It's from NC Star. GLOCK sight removal tool. And I said, let me just try to reach in there, and went right in here, and I said, I'll just tighten that up. And I tried to turn it, and it turned very freely. And then the sight fell off. And after doing a little research online, what I found is that this is the head of a bolt. And the bolt is Loctited in by Ruger, and it wrung the head off instead of tightening it. So I could send this back to Ruger and tell them, hey, fix my sight, and they would fix it. And I know they would, but I decided to try my own fix. And so I bought an AmeriGlo generic all models GLOCK standard front sight. This is a night sight. I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the package. That's how it came. But this is a standard height. Here it is. If my camera will focus. Come on, camera. We're having some issues today. Okay. It is a little longer. Here's the original sight next to it. It is a little longer. It is almost identical in width. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit and see if it'll make that happy. So it's almost identical in width and height. It is just a little longer, and it is that same GLOCK style sight. So I'm going to see if it fits the Ruger, and if it does, I'm going to have a front sight that's a night sight. And if it doesn't, I'll put it on a GLOCK. And so I'll take my GLOCK sight removal tool, and the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and loosen this nut, or excuse me, this bolt, and set that to the side. So set that right there, and we're going to put this onto the sight. It does fit in there actually quite snugly. It does drop. It took a little wiggling to get it in. There is just a tiny bit of play. I'll show you this on the camera here. Not much, really very little play side to side. A nice snug fit, actually. It really fits into that groove well. So I did read online that this was a fix for this, and so I'm going to try it myself, and so far it looks like it works. So I'm going to go ahead and insert this bolt into my GLOCK removal tool here, my GLOCK sight removal tool here. And if I can get it to stay, it is magnetic, so if you can get it in there, you see that little threaded thing in there. It's really easy to do this once you get it in there. So you go into the hole, you line things up, and you tighten. Do be careful. This is a very fine thread and a very, very thin nut, not to over tighten this. The question I have asked myself is, do I want to blue Loctite this in? And I don't know if I'm going to blue Loctite this in or not. I'm going to go right now with just mechanically tightening this and see how that does. I may come back and blue Loctite it later. I am a fan of blue Loctite. That is as tight as I can get that with my tool. It's still a little loose, and I'm not happy with that. So I'm going to play with that a little more. But, you know, if we line our sights up, we get a little shadow from the camera there, but it looks really nice. So it's a white dot with a tritium insert. Looks, yeah, kind of looks like it's supposed to be on there. So I'm going to play with trying to get this a little tighter. But I think that that is going to be my solution to this black on black sight for this LCP Custom. So this is a standard Glock 19 night sight on a very, very compact pocket gun. So I'm pretty happy with that. So if, and just if you're curious, we don't have an exact round count on this gun, but we bought it new. We shoot it pretty regularly. It's also part of our basic pistol classes. And our basic pistol classes, every student that goes through shoots this gun. So, you know, if I had to guess, I mean, it's probably somewhere between 800 and 1,000 on the round count when this sight worked loose. A lot of the accounts that I read online, this sight didn't work loose. It totally fell off at the range and they couldn't find it. Mine was loose and I tried to tighten it, not realizing it had been Loctited, and wrung this little tiny head off of this bolt. And like I said, I have no doubt if I sent this back to Ruger, Ruger would put a new front sight on this slide. But I took the opportunity. I got this Ameriglow sight from one of the major retailers. I think it was Natchez, and I think it was 35 bucks. And I figured, you know, for 35 bucks, I get a nice white dot sight instead of getting back this plain black sight. It's worth the money to me. This is a gun that my wife and I both have carried, especially in the summer months, depending on how we're dressed. So it's worth having the better sight to me. So anyway, I'll kind of leave you with that. If you see that fix online, it does work. It's a great fit. A Glock 19 sight fits well. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Appreciate your support. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.